Yeah, hi there. These comments are for TJ. I'm going to use the first letter of your first and last name. And you submitted a independent practice test to me for my website at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you're also one of my students at Cal State University San Bernardino. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and score your independent practice test and give you an idea if there's any specific lessons that you might work on based on any problems that I might see in the essay. So, alright, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as I go through the paragraph, I will make some corrections. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit, so you may want to go to your in-grade account, open up the essay as I read it with you. So you say a roommate is, I would say, a very important, no, this is okay. A roommate is very important to our life because we have to live with him or her all the time when we study in a college or school. A good roommate is, how about one of the factors to succeed in a college life? In other words, a bad roommate can destroy, I would say, you started off there with we, so I would say destroy our life. And that would go better with the R that you used earlier. Say, in the real world, we cannot specify qualities of people who come into our life, but I wouldn't say in ideal, I would use the adverb, but ideally, the important qualities of a good roommate should be, I'm going to change honest to an adjective. Honesty, helpful, and friendly. So a good roommate should be, honest, helpful, and friendly. Alright, so far pretty good. You got a good thesis. You had some general statements before you got to your thesis in that first paragraph. From what I can tell, you have a very strong organization to this essay. The first quality of a good roommate is honesty, and I'm changing that from a noun to an adjective, because a student and a roommate have to spend lots of time together. If they cannot believe in each other, I'm going to say will not be happy in a school life, because you're not saying could, you're saying if they cannot. I think will be better here. You're not really talking about what's called a present impossible situation. You're just talking about a conditional type thing. It could happen. It's possible. That's why I'll say will. For example, one of my friends lived with his roommate in, and I'm going to say a dormitory. His roommate stole his food. I'm going to say in the fridge because it's the refrigerator that they both shared. This story sounded like not a big problem, but it made my friend uncomfortable. I would remove the comma there and just say, and affected my friend's grade. So that was a good example. Excuse me. That was a good example there. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. Another quality of a good roommate is helpful. A good roommate, in my opinion, should be willing to help me in everything. Studying, cleaning a room, and so on. According to my experience, I used to have, I'm going to say here, a roommate who has never, now you want to use past tense here, who had never helped, ed, use the past participle, helped me. I'm going to use the word clean a room. Usually with help, we need to use an infinitive, not a gerund, but when we use an infinitive, we don't use the to with it. So, had never helped me clean a room. It was not fair to clean a shared area alone. Thus, I decided to move out. I would put a comma in there, no, after the comma, and say, and have never lived with a roommate again. So I would get rid of the comma again, say it like this. I decided to move out and have never lived with a roommate again. Okay, the next one. The last quality that I think should be in a roommate is, now if you use it here, is friendly, then friendliness makes an atmosphere in a room more comfortable. No one wants to live with a person who has no social life. If I decide to have a roommate, I would have responsibility to make. Okay, so if you're using would, which is hypothetical, then go back and use past tense. If I decided to have a roommate, I would have a responsibility to make a room more welcome. So this hypothetical grammar is throwing you off a little bit, right? So here's how it works. If you're using present and possible type conditions, which is what you're trying to do here, use the past tense and then would. Simple past. Now, if you're talking about a past impossible condition, you might say, if I had decided to have a roommate, I would have had the responsibility. So you do it that way, using past perfect verbs. Okay, so let's keep going. So you say, I used to visit my friend who has a very friendly roommate. I felt that the atmosphere in the room was so delighted. I think we use there delightful. I would use delightful, not delighted. Even though I did not know him, the roommate very welcomed me. I don't know about very welcomed. How about happily welcome me? I think a word like happily is going to work better than very in this case. Then you have, so I thought that it would be good if I have a friend or roommate. Now this is throwing me off. So your issue right now, you're having some verb tense problems. That's really the only grammar issue you're having in this essay. You have very strong organization. You have good connections from one paragraph to the next. You're using transition words to help create your topic sentences in your body paragraphs. I mean, you got a lot of good stuff going on here. So if you can eliminate some of these verb tense problems, your TOEFL writing is going to be very high very quickly. So let's go back and revise that sentence. So you say, so I thought it would be good if I had a friend or roommate. Or so I think that it will be good if I have a friend or roommate. So, and then the last part, you say, in conclusion, a roommate plays, I'm going to say, an important role in a student's, don't forget apostrophe S, in a student's life. So a good roommate is necessary for a student. A good roommate should be honest, helpful, and friendly. If a student, I'm going to say has, singular, not plural. If a student has a roommate who has all these qualities, the student's life in a school or college will be happy. So I would strongly encourage you, based on, you just have this one particular problem, understanding what's called present and past impossible type conditions, or real and unreal conditions. You can Google that or look it up in your grammar book if you have one. It's called real and unreal conditions, and you definitely need a little bit more, you need to study a little bit more up on that, and I think your writing will be perfect pretty much. All right, now the next question is, what's your score? Okay, so let's take a look at that right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to the rubrics. I'll put them in this, in the YouTube also, so you can click on them if you want. Okay, this essay, I got to tell you, I think you're above the 375, the 24 points on this one. I really do. Now I might put you a little bit lower because of some grammar problems. I'm going to give you 375 out of 5. I'm going to give you 24 points out of 30 on this. Of course, for my class, you get full credit for having completed the assignment. So the main thing you want to work on right now is try to get better control of your verbs. That's really my only comment. You have very good control of your vocabulary. You have good control of your advanced grammar structures except for your verbs, right? Your organization is strong. It's overall a very well written essay. So anyway, thank you very much. And I look forward to reading your next essay during our midterm exam in the class.